The Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu is in court to testify for the very first time for the very serious charges of corruption that he currently faces. And with this, he's also the first ever sitting Prime Minister of the State of Israel to stand in a court as a criminal defendant. Netanyahu faces serious charges of bribery, fraud and breach of trust in 3 separate cases. At the hearing, the Israeli Premier will have to respond to the allegations and testimonies that have been made against him, including from former close aides. He's also repeatedly sought to delay his testimony in the court and last time physically appeared in the courtroom in June 2023. However, ahead of the trial, Netanyahu at a press conference said that he was not running away from law and he will speak in the court. He further said that it's been at least 8 years that he's been waiting for this day to present his case in the court for the charges that he faces. Now, the trial has been moved from Jerusalem to Tel Aviv for security reasons, where Netanyahu will testify in an underground chamber for security reasons. In the first case, Netanyahu and his wife, Sarah Netanyahu, remember, are accused of accepting more than $260,000 worth of luxury goods that include stuff such as cigars, jewelry and champagne from billionaire donors in exchange for political favors. The second case involves the alleged attempts by the Prime Minister, that is Netanyahu, to reach a deal with a publisher of a popular Israeli newspaper for better coverage about him and his government, and by agreeing to weaken the status of a rival daily newspaper. Now, the third case of corruption alleges that Netanyahu had received favorable coverage on a popular news website owned by his close friend in exchange for smoothing out the way for a telecoms merger that was sought by him. Now, WION's correspondent from the State of Israel, Jody Cohen, has sent us this report from Ra'anana. Listen in.
I'm outside the courthouse where supporters and opponents of the Prime Minister have come to express their views. Before Prime Minister Netanyahu's appearance in court, he suggested that political opponents had concocted a crime, threatened people around him to give false testimony, and called the accusations against him ridiculous. Giving the opening address, Netanyahu's defense attorney suggested there were many holes in the cases against the Prime Minister. For example, he suggested that other politicians seek positive media coverage but aren't accused of committing a crime. Netanyahu is expected to be in court 3 days a week for 6 hours a day until the end of December. The court has suggested they could call a recess if matters arise for the Prime Minister to deal with. In fact, that's already happened, and it's likely to happen more with the ongoing war, negotiations for a hostage release deal, and unrest in Syria. In coordination with UN forces in the buffer zone, Israel says it's temporarily moved onto the Syrian side of the zone. And in coordination with the US, Israel says it's been striking chemical weapons in Syria to prevent them falling into hostile hands. This is Jody Cohen for WION World is One.
For all the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.